Okay, for those of you listening at home, thank Mr. Blau for saving my bacon. I forgot to hit the plug, the turn on button. It's turned on. Let me do a quick we're just going through homework 9D. These are the answers. Number 1A, they're asking to simplify if possible. 1A, not possible. 1B, 10x to the third. 1C, 10 plus 2x cubed, or you can do 2x cubed plus 10. And number 1D, 250 x to the third. Okay. Number 2, they're asking which symbol greater than, equal, or less than should replace the box to make it true all the time. 2A, none of them would work all the time. 2B, equals. 2C, less than. 2D, none of them would work all the time. The fact that it would work once in a while isn't good enough. It has to work for everything. And it repeats up to number 2. All right. Number 8. There were quite a few. They were asking for you to multiply as indicated. Here we go. 8a should have 3 terms. X squared plus 14x plus 24. Number 8b, 3 terms. X squared plus 1x plus negative 72.
Wait, I'm sorry, x third plus?
X squared plus 1x plus negative 72 for number 8b.
Well, I'm sorry, plus negative.
X squared plus 1x plus negative 72. Everybody okay? Update B. Okay. 8c, 3 terms. 6x squared plus negative 7x plus negative 20. Number 8d, 3 terms. 36x squared plus 12x plus 1. Number 8e, 36x squared minus 1, just those 2 terms. If you had 36x squared plus 0x minus 1, that's fine. I'll accept that. It would simplify, so you can just erase it a bit. Number 8f, 3 terms. 21x squared plus negative 58x plus 21. Yeah.
What if 13 you did
Plus negative 1? That's good. That's good. Everybody okay up to 8f? And it repeats? 8g. There are 2 terms or 3 terms, depending on how you wrote it. Negative x squared plus 16. You could write it as 16 minus x squared, although it's not as good a form. You could also have written negative x squared plus 0x plus 16. Number 8h is in Harold. There are 3 terms. X to the 6th plus 7x to the 3rd plus negative 8. Number 8i, there are 4 terms. 2x to the 3rd plus 1x squared, or just x squared, plus negative 44x plus 5. That is again. Number 8i, 2x cubed plus 1x squared plus negative 44x plus 5. Number 8j, there are only 2 terms when you're done canceling everything. X to the 4th plus negative 1. If you did x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 0x squared plus 0x plus negative 1, that's fine. You don't have to though. Number 8k, there are 5 terms, count them. X to the 4th plus negative 4x to the 3rd plus 5x squared plus negative 28x plus 32. And 8L, last one. There are 3 terms when you're done canceling. X to the 4th plus 2x squared plus 9. And it repeats on the whole thing. Okay, yeah, there are 5 terms. X to the 4th, you could have 1x to the 4th if you want. Plus negative 4x to the 3rd plus 5x squared plus negative 28x plus 32. Any other repeats? Yeah.
Can you repeat A?
8a. Yeah, three terms. X squared plus 14x plus 24. Any others? Right here. Any other repeats? All right, let's go through questions on those. Any of those you want to see dissected? And basically, it's if you got the answer wrong and you still don't quite know what happened, that's a good one to unpack. Or if you think you know what went wrong, but you want to be absolutely sure, now's a good time to ask. Any questions on any of those? Yeah.
H,
HJ. Yeah. X to the third minus x squared plus x minus 1. Squared plus x minus 1. And multiplying that to x plus 1. So this is HJ. I would stack multiply this. And they actually have it set up. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to fill in ones on all of these and do an add the opposites. It does make it a little easier and a little less likely to make errors. So here's what I do. 1 times negative 1, negative 1. Put a plus sign in between everything. 1 times 1x, 1x. 1 times negative 1x squared is negative 1x squared. Oops, forgot the plus. Plus 1 times 1x cubed is 1x cubed. And I'm done with the first cycle. Now I try the 1x. That's going to be scooted over. You can put a 0 here if you want to do a placeholder. 1x times negative 1 is negative 1x. Plus 1x times 1x is 1x squared. Plus 1x times negative 1x squared is negative 1x cubed. Let's see where the cube comes from. This is 1x to the first. There are 3 total x's. And then finally, plus 1x to the fourth. You notice these cancel, these cancel, these cancel. Just regular x to the fourth, minus 1, or plus negative 1. Next. Any others you want to see? Everything okay on these? If I threw these on a test, you'd be okay? Seriously? Okay. Alrighty. Please take out your 9 E's and Egbert. There was 2, 4, and 6. Let's see what we got. So 2, 4, 6, we're on page 420 thereabouts. Oh, by the way, I do have corrected answer sheet. Remind me, on Monday I'm going to hand these out. All the page numbers are wrong on this, and I found out why. There was a different version of the book we were using last year. I got books that don't fall apart as easily, but the pages are all different. So I just fixed it, so I'll have to hand these out on Monday. I could also email it to you if you want. Number 2, red writing utensil if they're ready. Here we go. Simplify, if possible, 2a, 3 terms. 5x plus negative 1y plus negative 2. If you had 5x minus y minus 2, that's fine. Number 2b, any questions so far? Everybody with me?
Yep.
2b, x squared plus 2x plus 5. Make sure you check your work. Number 2c, negative 6x plus 8y. Number 2d, x to the 4th plus negative 3x squared. They skipped x cubed, notice. Plus negative 4x plus 1. That is again, x to the 4th plus negative 3x squared plus negative 4x plus 1. And that's all number 2. Any repeats? Yeah.
Can you repeat number A?
A. 2a is 5x. I'll do the easiest one, 5x minus y minus 2.
And can you do C?
C, negative 6x plus 8y. Okay, any others? Move to number 4. Multiply as you can. Those you can pretty much all FOIL. You can stack multiply if you want. Here we go. 4a, x, they're all 3 terms. Well, I take that back. Most of them are 3 terms. I'll tell you when they're not. 4a, x squared plus 8x plus 12. Number 4b, make sure you're checking the work. Make sure they're right. If they're not right, write in the correct answer. Number 4b for 9f and 9e, x squared plus 4x minus 12, or plus negative 12. Number 4c, x squared plus negative 11x plus 24. Number 4d, x squared plus 1x plus negative 20. If you just have x squared plus x minus 20, that's fine. 4e, x squared plus 14x plus 49. Yeah.
Can you repeat D?
D, yeah, x squared plus x minus 20, basically. Number 4f is one of the 2 terms. X squared minus 49, or plus negative 49. Number 4g, 3 terms. 6x squared plus 26x plus 8. Number 4h, 6x squared minus 26x plus 8. It's almost identical to the previous one. 4i, 30x squared plus 13x plus negative 10. 4j, 4x squared plus negative 31x plus negative 90. 4k, x squared plus negative 2xy plus y squared. Let me read that again. X squared plus negative 2xy plus y squared. And number 4l is 2 terms. X squared minus y squared. Or x squared plus negative y squared. Any repeats in number 4? Yeah.
Okay.
K was x squared plus negative 2xy plus y squared. Yeah.
Can you do AC and L?
Yeah, I can do that. A is x squared plus 8x plus 12. Is it C?
Yes.
Okay, C is x squared plus negative 11x plus 24. And then L was x squared minus y squared. Here.
J.
J was 4x squared plus negative 31x plus negative 90. Any others? All right, number 6. There are 6 parts of this. So we've got, yeah, 6a is 3 terms. X to the 4th plus 4x squared plus negative 5. Number 6b, there are 4 terms. X to the 4th plus negative 9x to the 3rd plus 1x squared plus negative 9x. Number 6e, there are 2 terms. X to the 3rd plus 8. Number 6d, there are 5 terms. X to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd plus negative 1x squared plus 10x plus negative 3. 6e, 2x to the 3rd plus 4x squared plus negative 48x. And number 6f, 4 terms. X to the 3rd plus negative 6x squared plus 11x plus negative 6. Any repeats on the whole thing? Sure, straight back.
On the test, do we have to know how to do like FOIL and the other one, or can we just do that?
question is, do you have to know how to use FOIL? The short answer is no, you don't. You could stack multiply everything or distribute everything. FOIL is one of the faster ways to do it, so it's good to be familiar with it. But if you, like for the purposes of this test, if you're still learning FOIL, you can pretty much stack multiply or distribute everything if you want. Later on in chapter 10, you will definitely need to know how to do FOIL, partially because we're going to do something called unfoil, which means going backwards from it. So, but you have about a week or two to catch up on that. Yeah.
I was kind of confused. In 4K it had negative xy plus, like I multiplied it and then I had negative xy plus negative xy.
Yes.
That was negative 2xy. Why wasn't it like negative 2xy squared?
Oh, the only time you square it is if you're multiplying. It's kind of like negative something plus negative another something. It's kind of like negative, I'm just going to make up something. Negative frowny face plus negative frowny face. It could be whatever you want. It's going to be negative 2 frowny face. So you can do whatever chunk is in there. So negative xy plus negative xy. This is really negative 1xy plus negative 1xy, which would be negative 2xy. Now when you do get powers, if you did negative 1xy times negative 1xy, that's different. You do negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. X times x is x squared. Y times y is y squared. Okay. So when you add, the powers don't go any higher. It's just you get more of a number in front. And next, any of those you want to see dissected? Yeah.
6B.
6b. Yeah, let me take a look. Okay. So x minus 9, x cubed plus x. So again, this is a binomial times a binomial. You could do any of the three methods on this one. You could distribute, you could FOIL, or you could stack multiply. I'm going to FOIL just because it's relatively quick. First, outer, inner, last. The first is, now keep in mind, x times x cubed. There are 3 x's here and 1 x here. Combined to make x to the 4th. Everybody getting a little more comfy on those powers? Thanks. Okay, we're going to be doing a lot of them, so make sure you're good on that. This, x times x, is x squared. In the middle, negative 9 times x cubed is negative 9x cubed. I'm going to have to fix the order in a second. And then the last is negative 9x. So let me just switch these around. So it's x to the 4th plus negative 9x cubed plus x squared plus negative 9x. Makes sense? All right, next. Any others you want to see? How you doing? Should be focused on this, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Any other questions? All right. Well, there are two things going on here. Number one, the next assignment is going to be due on Monday. Next assignment is homework 9, Athens and Franklin. There really isn't much more. Actually, I take that back. There's one little extra piece of notes I want to show you because it will speed up your homework quite a bit if you nail it. Take out your notes, please. This will actually only take about 5 minutes, and you probably have about 15 minutes to start working on the homework. We're going to hit this more, by the way. This is kind of what I'm talking about. Do not distract each other. Okay. Take out your notes, please. Have a pen in hand. Okay. Try this. Write this down. Binomial squared. Binomial squared. What that means is literally something plus something else, parentheses, squared. So it's a binomial and the whole thing is squared. So when you hear binomial squared, that's what they're talking about. And there is a shortcut for finding the answer to this thing. But first, let me give you a couple of demos. X plus 2, parentheses squared, actually, do x plus 3, parentheses squared. Let me show you one thing before I'll get up on you. One thing I want to do first. There is a very, very common mistake on this. Almost everybody does it at first. Here's my question. Is that true? What they did was they squared the x and they squared the 3. Do you think that works? Wait a minute.
No.
Why not? I mean, it seems kind of logical, but if it's no, can you prove it? Like, how would you do this problem?
You would just do 3 squared, because the 2 is right with the 4.
Oh, well, the parentheses does capture everything there. So everything is going to get squared. Nice try. By the way, the people who said that it doesn't work, you're correct. Now, you might have just read it off my face, which is a useful skill to have. Yeah?
Is it because you have to do x plus 3 first and then square it?
Ah, closer, yes. What happens when you square something, like shorthand? Yeah, Ross. Multiply by itself. What this thing really is the whole parentheses times itself. It's x plus 3 times x plus 3. Let's actually do it. Let's see what we get. So, let's say what? Andy, help me out here. How do you do a binomial?
That goes one way.
Yeah, which method do you want to use to multiply?
Distributive.
Distributive, okay. And you can FOIL, you can distribute, you can stack, multiply, take your pick. To distribute, you'll have to distribute everything. So that means the x and also the 3. So tell me what you get.
You get x squared
Uh-huh.
and 3x,
Uh-huh.
and then 3x,
Uh-huh.
and then 9.
I do want to point out, by the way, this is almost identical to FOIL. First, and then it gets the outer, then it gets the inner, then it gets the last. So it's pretty much the same thing as FOIL, but it kind of looks cooler. So anyway, anything combined?
The 3x's,
What do you get?
6x.
X squared plus 6x plus 9. Nice. That is the correct answer. What was missing in our original guess? Rosie? The 6x. Yeah. We need a 6x. Otherwise it's wrong. And it's not very obvious. It looks like the 6x came out of nowhere. But if you actually FOIL it out or distribute it out, you will get that middle term. Let's try another one. What if I do x plus 5, parentheses squared? Somebody step me through that. Go.
X squared,
Oh, okay. Want to do it right away? Sure.
plus 10x.
I can get that.
They added, and then 5x squared.
Yeah, if you think about this, x plus 5, x plus 5, do you see that the outer and the inner will both give you 5x and 5x? If you do that ahead of time, I'll do that up here. And you want to do it in your head? By the way, if you skip steps, do it at your own risk. But once you get good at it, experienced at it, you can. And then plus what, by the way? 25. That, by the way, is correct. Let me try one more, and then I'm going to ask if anybody sees a pattern. Try x plus 7, parentheses squared. Isabella, help me out with this one. How do you do this? Like, what's the kind of long way to do it?
You make it x plus 7 times x plus 7.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would do.
And
Go for it.
then,
Pick a method, would
well,
you?
it'd be x squared
Uh-huh.
plus 7x.
Good.
Plus 7x.
Another 7x.
Plus 14.
Almost. Multiply.
Oh, 49.
Good. Anything combined?
And the 7x
correct. Look at the original one. X cubed, or x plus 3 parentheses squared, gives you x squared plus 6x plus 9. X plus 5 squared gives you x squared plus 10x plus 25. X plus 7 squared gives you x squared plus 14x plus 49. Does that see a pattern? What do you think?
All the, I'll go with 5 for 6x, 10x, 14x.
Oh, that's interesting. Let me skip ahead a little bit. X plus 11 squared. I think that, because I went up to 3, 5, and 7. That was just me being accidental. Yeah.
It's x is always squared. And
Correct. The first one is always just x squared.
And then you add, so you would do like 20, it would be 22x.
Yes.
And then it would be 121.
You are correct. How do you do that? What's the pattern? Yeah.
So you add 11 and then like multiply it by x. You do 11 plus 11.
Right.
And multiply it by x, and then you
It'll be
add,
11x, 11x. Okay.
And then you add 11 squared.
Right. 11 squared at the end. Let me give you the pattern. Rather remember this. I'm going to put it over here. I think I'm still on screen. For a binomial squared, by the way, here, if you want an abbreviation, this is the official abbreviation for binomial squared. There are 3 steps. I will often ask, what's the 3-step pattern for a binomial squared? And you'll say this. It'll be this plus this plus this. Square the first. That's the first step. Square the first. The second step, double the product. Double the product. And the last, no pun intended, square the last. That's,
Right.
all right. Gentlemen, ditto. Time not to talk. Up here, please.
Right.
Square the first, double the product, square the last. What does this mean? It's basically first plus last, parentheses squared. Square the first, double the product, square the last. Can somebody refresh my memory? What does product mean, Aaron?
It's the answer to multiplication.
Multiplication problem. Yeah, addition is sum, difference is subtraction. Product is multiplication, multiply. Let's try this. Let's run an experiment. If I have x plus 10, parentheses squared, let's try the shortcut pattern. Josh, help me out here. If I talk about first and last, what's first in here? Like this.
The x?
The x. Square that for me. Don't work too hard. What would you write?
Sorry, can
You
you?
may just say square the first. In other words, square this. What would you get? Don't work too hard. It's pretty.
X?
X. And then square it. What do you get?
X squared?
Exactly. When you square x, you get x squared. Does that make sense? So when you take x times x, squaring it, you get x squared. Now, double the product. I need something else. Jonah, help me out here. What is a product again?
The answer to multiplication.
Multiplication problem. There are only 2 things to multiply. The first times the last. Tell me, what's x times 10?
10x.
10x. Now double it.
20x.
Bingo. You just doubled the product. The product is 10x. So you double it, make 20x. And then square the last. Yeah. Go ahead.
100.
100. You're done. That's binomial squared. This can go very fast once you get a little bit of practice. Let me just do one more and then I'll give you some time to work. But beware, I'm going to make it big. you go. You can earn your bacon this time. 12xy squared plus 7t, all parentheses squared. This would be annoying to do foiling. You can do it. But I want to see if we can do the pattern. I will say that this thingy is the first, and this thingy is the last. What I want you to do is square the first, double the product, square the last. So John, help me out with this one. Square this for me. Just do one piece at a time. What's 12 squared?
104.
Close. 140.
Oh, 100,
12 times 12 is 100.
oops. Gosh dang it. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good. 140. You were saying it. Your lips are saying the correct number. You're, no, you're
Four?
saying, yeah, 144.
Oh.
Good. So 12 squared is 144. Now square this thing. Don't work too hard.
X squared.
X squared. This is a little more trickier. How do you square something that's already squared? It's really y to the what?
It's y to the 4th.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Catherine, take over. I apologize ahead of time. These numbers are horrible. Product. What's 12 times 7? But 84, excellent. By the way, if anybody gets stuck on a big number like this multiplied, watch this. You can distribute. This is really 10 plus 2. You can do 7 times 10 and 7 times 2. So it's 70 and 14. Put them together, 84. Double it. I apologize. What's doubled when you do 84? What's 84 and 84? One way to do it is what's 80 and 80? 80 plus 80. 160. So what's 84 plus 84? Excellent. 168. 168, and then this times this. So let me take over. Mary. What's x times y squared times t? And don't work too hard. Yeah, xy squared t. You can put it in alphabetical order if you're really picky. Plus what? One last thing. Jack Gilbert, square this for me. What's 7 squared? 49. And what's t squared? I should have answered my own question. T squared. You're done. If you can do that, you can do anything the book throws at you. That's a pretty massive binomial square. Questions? They may have a couple problems where you go backwards. They'll give you x squared plus 10x plus blank, and then they say what would make x plus 5 squared, and then you fill it in. So they might like have some of these missing, and then you fill in the missing gaps. Yeah.
Is it okay in like a problem like this or any problem?
I mean, I'm not going to give you something this horrendous, except maybe it's an extra credit question. So far. When, at the end of the year, I'll say you're all are so mathematically tough, I'm going to give these to you a lot. But for now, yeah. Go ahead.
Is it okay if you had like x, y, t and you put like t, x, y? Does it matter what order you put the letters in?
It does not. The only catch is make sure that the only thing that's squared is the y. Yeah. So otherwise, yes. I like putting them in alphabetical order too. Everybody good? You have about 7 minutes. Go ahead and get started on this. You're welcome to work in groups if it's quiet. And if you bring your chairs back when you're done. Go for it. Call me over if you get stuck. Or come over here if you get stuck, whichever way you want.
Gianna, you want to see that? Yeah, you do, Gianna. Don't deny it. You know you desperately want to.
Change the subject.
Sorry. Anyways, how's your day, Gianna?
Terrible.
I changed the school.
Good save.
Hey. You want me to turn this off?
Sure. Yes, sir. Oh, heavens, yes, please. Yeah, just hit the red.
Goodbye, children.